In today's video, we are going to refine our movement and our look around inputs to make sure that it feels nicer and smoother. So you might have noticed from the progress that we've made so far, if I look around, the camera does turn the player with me. If I go sideways, the camera is always facing in front and the player is also facing the side of the camera. So we want to change that, and for us to notice that, what we are basically going to do, we are going to quickly open our character, our player character, and look for the spring arm. So it does have like use pawn control rotation and other settings, so we may check this one, compile, go back to our editor. You can see you can look sideways, up and down, works really well. So what we're going to change is first let's just add a visual component of an arrow component just to visualize the direction that our character is facing. I'll add an arrow, and this arrow it will be red. So let's add it at the capsule and change its location to 000. So when we click play, one thing you forgot to do is always set it to be not hidden in game. Save that. When you hit play, you can see our play is always facing the direction that our camera is facing, and we don't want that. Also, when we move, our controller just keeps like turning in the direction of our character. So we don't want all of those to be in sync. So the first thing we do is to get the character movement component and go straight down up to rotation settings right here, and change this orient rotation to movement, check it to true. So when you come back and try to move, you can see our character is trying to rotate, but at the same time the camera is still saying no, please don't rotate, which is not what we want still. So these are just settings that you can go through and making sure that you're always like having free control of your character. You shouldn't have systems or any other component fighting against each other. Also, it's important when you add components, make sure that they don't affect your navigation. So one thing that I'll check is if my your rotation settings are true. Use your control rotation is true on pawn. So I'm going to uncheck that, compile, and when we hit play, you can see now we can freely look at our character. This allows us to examine him, and when we try and move, we can always move in a direction that we want freely. So it's also cool to have this kind of movement where it's directional. We can also have strafing movement, but I do like that we have this. This allows us to navigate freely, and remember, our game being an action adventure, we want to be able like to get the most out of like the player's movement in terms of where to go and how to let's say maybe if you want to jump, or maybe you want to move to a certain place without like having to struggle so much of setting your camera. This is like a really good options. So I think that's it for today. I hope that I've kept less than 6 minutes, which is great.